I'm Allison Davis, and I'm the producer of Lincoln, Prelude to the Presidency. In 2009 was the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and we thought it was a perfect time to be able to tell this story.
In the fall of 1847, Abraham Lincoln left his home in Springfield, Illinois, and rode 90 miles to the Coles County Courthouse in Charleston. Lincoln was a household name to the people of Illinois, since he was out on the road amongst them almost 8 months out of the year.
I grew up in Springfield, Illinois, with a mother and father who really instilled in me a love of history and made me realize how special it was that Lincoln was also from the hometown where I grew up. And so it was just a real natural fit for me to get involved in this project. This film was really a group project between myself, Tim Harton, and attorney and author Guy Fraker from Bloomington, Illinois. Guy approached Tim and I with the idea of doing a story about Lincoln's life working the 8th Judicial Circuit in Central Illinois, the time period before he was president. Guy has done a ton of research about Lincoln and written 2 books on Lincoln, and his enthusiasm for Lincoln is really contagious. When Guy first approached us, he knew that the anniversary was coming up, so we initially went to work doing research, securing the funding in order to do the show, and then Tim and I realized that in order to tell this show well, we needed to do some reenactments, and we knew we didn't have a lot of money to do high-end reenactments, so we had to really figure out how we could do this cheaply. One of the first things that was really lucky for us is that we found a Lincoln presenter whose name is Joe Woodard, who specialized in the early days of Lincoln, so Lincoln without the beard. And luckily he lived in this area in Central Illinois. Meeting Joe was just incredible because when he walked into the room, you really felt like you were looking at Lincoln, and everybody on set would get kind of quiet and look at him. It was really an incredible experience getting to work with him. We really relied on a lot of local theater people who stepped up to be actors. They also helped us with makeup and costumes. And a lot of our coworkers here at WILL also volunteered to come out and be a part of the show, and they play a lot of the roles that you'll see in this film. One thing that I think really sticks out to me is when we were able to go to Funk's Grove near Bloomington, Illinois, and shoot the scenes of Lincoln riding on horseback through the prairie. Those were just so beautiful, and I really felt that it really captured the experience of what it must have been for Lincoln when he was riding through this vast sea of prairie, being able to think and go through things and read books while he was riding along. And Funk's Grove is one of the last remaining areas of prairie in Central Illinois, and it's really a treasure. So I appreciate how much they were supportive of our project. And also all the historic sites were really wonderful in allowing us to film there, because we felt as we were doing reenactments, we wanted them to be as honest and as truthful as possible. We wanted to film them on locations where Lincoln had actually been. So it was important for us to go to the Mount Pulaski Courthouse where he had actually tried cases, and going to New Salem. I loved the scenes that we filmed in New Salem and how much access they gave us. And I will say that Tim Harton's ability to capture these scenes was just incredible. I remember one scene in particular where we were shooting a tavern scene in Lincoln, and the way he lit it and made the actors staged and the way they looked, it looked like a Renaissance painting. It was just so beautiful. So I really have to credit him with making this film look as great as it does. I think one of the best moments for me was that we had a viewing with everyone who had worked on the film at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield. And that was wonderful to hear from not only Lincoln scholars who were in the film and who had studied his life, but all the volunteers, the real army of volunteers that had come out, that had lended us horses and wagons and had put on costumes, and how moved they were by the film in order to see this chapter in Lincoln's life. That was really a special evening for me.
He always had this huge ambition, a wonderfully worthy ambition to somehow leave his mark on the world.
One thing that was really exciting for me in this film is having a chance to interview Doris Kearns Goodwin. She is one of my heroes, and we got really lucky because we found out that she was going to be doing a talk in Bloomington, Illinois while we were doing the production. So we reached out and we were able to get just 30 minutes from her. But she is such an incredible storyteller and really makes history come to life. I think I ended up using every soundbite that I got from her in those 30 minutes. We felt that the story was really important because there has been lots of documentaries and programs about Lincoln as the president, but not a lot of people have looked at this time period in his life, which was really influential in making him the man that he was. His ability to connect with people on the circuit, his pragmatism, his ability to listen to different points of view, he carried that all into the presidency, and I think it made him one of our greatest presidents.